Listen. Not an iPod to be heard. You'd swear you'd been transported to the 19th century, and you'd be right. This is what the village of Spring Mill looked like in the 1800s. The community grew up around a mill that is still functional today. And this village is the heart and soul of Spring Mill State Park. Mark Young works for the Department of Natural Resources and is the guardian of this treasure.
The restoration of the village began shortly after the park was established in 1927. But it really expanded and grew more in the 1930s after they established a camp here as part of the Civilian Conservation Corps. The goal was to reconstruct a village that would represent what life was like in the 1800s here in southern Indiana.
Through spring and fall, interpreters people the village so you get a good idea of how it was to live and work in the 1800s. The centerpiece of the town and the prime reasons for its success and demise is the grist mill, powered by rushing water to grind grain using a millstone.
The corn that was ground was used for many purposes, one of which was the whiskey in the distillery behind me, and then it was also used mainly for the hog feed. But if you grind it far finer, you can make cornmeal out of it, which makes our favorite cornbread. The village started to fail when portable mills allowed for the farmer to stay home and wait for a miller to show up to his home instead of having to make the trip to this mill. Since this mill was no longer operating on a regular basis, and since it was the heart of the village, as its power started to dwindle, people started leaving the valley and moving westward to Mitchell.
The miller shares the village with other neighbors like the blacksmith, the weaver, and the leather worker. All skilled individuals who demonstrate arts lost to most of us today. Spring Mill State Park has many other treasures to be discovered in its more than 1,300 acres. Like the Gus Grissom Museum, dedicated to the local boy who left home to become an astronaut. And a great place to make your headquarters for discovery is the Spring Mill Inn, built with local limestone by members of the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Great Depression. The inn is open year-round and has many modern amenities, but still maintains the cozy feel of a country lodge. But don't miss the indoor-outdoor pool or the dining room, where many locals eat on a regular basis. And they serve persimmon pudding, cornbread, cornmeal pie. These two right here were made with corn from the corn mill all year. Yummy! There is so much more to the park than we can begin to cover here, so check out the website for the Department of Natural Resources at in.gov/DNR. For SAVOR Indiana, I'm a very impressed Dean Wilson.